Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here for episode 19, and we're going to start healthcare. And speaking of healthcare, healthcare covers all sorts of things, right? It's not just physical, it's mental and emotional. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been feeling much more emotional during this whole COVID-19 lockdown situation. It's been an interesting experience. Healthcare is an area where AI has really taken hold, and there's huge opportunity using AI to change the world. So let's start out with how this all began in terms of AI in healthcare. And we go back to the early 1960s when the Mayo Clinic first invented electronic health records. But as you can imagine, back then, this was on mainframe computers and very expensive and not widely used because the cost was way too high. In fact, as recently as 2001, only 19 years ago, only 18% of doctors used electronic health records. So what you see now, like everything else like this, is very recent. And it was only in 2018, March, so 2 years ago, at the healthcare IT show, that all of these electronic health record platforms first started to introduce AI components. And a lot of those uses of AI at the beginning and to now in electronic healthcare records is really focused on analyzing mass quantities of records, but more standardizing records, because there's dozens of these health record systems on the market, and none of them talk to each other. So eventually, to get AI to really work well across vast swaths of health records, all these records have to be standardized. That process is in progress, and AI in healthcare is accelerating significantly due to two converging trends. The first of those trends is the explosion since 2000, as I was just saying, of digital healthcare data. Most recently, in the last 10 years or less, being driven by all the trackers and devices that people are wearing that are generating healthcare data. And you better check your privacy settings or look at what all these trackers you're buying are sharing, because some of you may or may not want the level of sharing of data that's going on. So that's something to do. But in addition to this data, as you might expect, AI algorithms are getting better and better all the time. So you have the convergence of more and more data and better algorithms to analyze that data. So this is going to be tremendously powerful. And in the next 10 years, by 2030, there's going to be huge breakthroughs using AI in healthcare. We're going to talk a lot more about healthcare because there's so many different areas that AI can be used. But a most recent example is the effort to develop treatments or a vaccine for COVID-19. And that effort has been significantly accelerated by AI. All the biotech firms are using AI now. And we have seen potential treatments and candidates be developed in a matter of months. That was impossible. 10 years ago, you were talking 2, 3, 4 years just to begin to architect a treatment. And then there was the whole trial process. So it would literally take 10 years to get a drug from concept to commercialization only 10 years ago. So to be now where treatments and vaccines are being developed in months is a seismic shift in healthcare. So for all you guys out there thinking about careers, Healthcare is a huge opportunity, and not just being a doctor or a nurse, but being hospital staff, working with big data in the hospital environment, or working at a biotech firm, or working at a digital technology firm that's working to consolidate and analyze all this healthcare data. There's just huge opportunities career-wise in healthcare, a lot of which will be relatively protected as AI begins its job disruption process. So that's something to think about, folks. And next time we'll keep talking about healthcare and talk about some of the breakthrough areas where AI has already been used. See you Tuesday.